What's up everyone, welcome to another video. This is episode number 3 of us trying to get Grandmaster without Warp Gate. So far we've tried some absolutely awesome builds, and by the way, just quickly, in the last episode I did a really crazy build with a fast Oracle because I'm not making Warp Gate so I can afford it faster while having a third Nexus at 3 minutes. So I actually used that build on my main Protoss account and I won 5 games in a row against the 5.8k Protoss. Now in those games I did make Warp Gate eventually, but it was still after the third Nexus, so I really feel like I invented something cool. For today, we're going to be trying some more awesome ideas. I'm still full of them. Let's begin. All right, the first game of the day is against a Zerg. All right, this is awesome because the main idea that I had for today's episode was actually going to be against Zerg. Now, you know what? I'm going to spoil like a little part of it, and I wonder if you guys are going to be able to guess it. I'll just say that it has something to do with Phoenixes, okay? It has something to do with Phoenixes. Now, you guys are going to see it pretty soon because StarCraft builds do reveal themselves pretty fast. But I'm still curious if you guys are going to be able to guess it. Now, I do have to figure out how to do my builds. It's always the case. When you do something... You know, a challenge like no Warp Gate, where you basically mess up your entire build order because every build has Warp Gate pretty much. Maybe not that build that I just invented that I talked about in the intro, because that's freaking awesome. And maybe I should go for a gas first here as well. We'll go for a gas first. But otherwise, yeah, every build has Warp Gate, so it's really hard to keep track of what you're exactly supposed to do. So just a quick recap. If you guys don't remember the build that I was talking about in the intro, is I played against Terran, and I did a gas first, even faster than this one, by the way. Like, it was literally when I could afford it, a gas first. And then I made one adept only. And because I played gas first and I skipped the Warp Gate, I could afford a proxy Oracle while making a third Nexus because I only had one gas. So I literally had a proxy Oracle super fast. And at the same time, I had a 3-minute 5 third Nexus building, I believe. Oh, it looks like we are getting cheesed here. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind. Probably send a probe down already. This is a fat 12 pool. But actually, I didn't even consider this. But this might be a little problematic for us because I went for the gas first. So I was wondering why my gateway felt so late. Okay, that's actually quite funny. I'm just gonna make a pylon over here because why not? Oh, I do need to start Cybercore first. There we go. I haven't seen anything come across yet. The only thing that I really need to scout for is going to be roaches. Did he send Zerglings? Okay, there we go. I'm really glad that I got to see those. I do need another pylon really fast, by the way. There we go. Am I gonna finish this? I could have probably. I'm not gonna do it. Here we go. I'm just gonna block him again. That's also gonna allow me to scout exactly how many Zerglings it is. Gonna have to put this probe in the wall. This probe is gonna die, which makes sense. Let's see if I can see a gas. I couldn't quite. And this zealot is... Oh, it actually did finish in time. Oh, he didn't punish me for that move, so that's nice. Let's see. Maybe I could just keep it on the outside for now. Wait. I could do a double chrono boost on the adepts. There we go. Okay, this is actually quite nice. I didn't cancel the pylon. That's a bit of a mistake. But overall, pretty happy with this opener. I'm going to make 2 adepts. I don't know if I need to make anything else. I definitely don't have to make Warp Gate, which is nice. I do want to saturate this gas, though. Not quite sure if I messed it up from the beginning or if I accidentally pulled one worker out of gas. And this was, I think, literally the best 12 pool hold I've ever had. Like, normally I kind of struggle against the 12 pool, actually, so this is nice. I'm going to make 1 more adept, not 2. I only want 1 adept to stand here behind the wall, pretty much. That's the point. But if I make 2, I would have to skip my probe, which I don't want. I do think now would be a nice time to make a second gas. Let's see if I can kill a couple Zerglings. I'll make the second gas before the Stargate. I told you guys I was going to make Phoenixes. So let's see if we can scout a third base. That is probably his natural. I don't think that's a third base. That's probably his natural. Let's see. So this is his third base, but he did make both of them really fast. I didn't actually want to commit with these adepts, but it feels like he's being a little greedy, so maybe I will. Okay, so let's get those in here. Let's see how many Zerglings he has. It's a little bit too much. He is mining gas fully. And now I'm going to make a Twilight Council. And I feel like this should be the biggest hint as to what I'm actually going to do so far. So I'm curious if you guys can guess it already. You do need a little bit of... historical StarCraft context. I'll just put it that way to understand what's going on. Let's see. I don't think he's going to have speed yet, so I could probably just do this. I mean, adepts are really good against Zerglings until they get speed. The moment they get speed, you just kind of die. But before that, I don't think I can kill this right now. I'm barely not going to be able to kill that. These adepts are doing a good job, though. I'm just going to try and scout if there's a Roach Warren in the main. Adepts are super good at this, by the way. Let's see. I don't want to commit these because I don't actually have that many units, so I'm going to get a... Phoenix out, my first Phoenix. I'm saturating my third gas as well. Now, do I make a fourth gas? I think I actually... Oh, I thought I saturated that. I've been a little off with that, right? In the main, I messed up the saturation, and now too. I do think I need a fourth gas for this build order, so let's see how it goes. So here is Phoenix number 1. And then after this, most of you probably already guessed it at this point, or maybe not most, but a bunch of you. After this, I am going to be starting a Dark Shrine. And the build that I'm going for here is basically just probably the most popular PvZ meta in Brood War of all time, which was Corsair DT. Now, in StarCraft 2, it's probably not going to be quite as good because what happened in Brood War, if you guys don't know, is that you didn't have to make Overseers for detection. The Overlords in themselves were detection, so that's what Zergs would rely on. So you would use Corsairs, which... yeah, I wouldn't really call it the Phoenix of Brood War, but it kind of is, I guess. You would use those to kill the Overlords, and then you would run in with DTs. And obviously now my account is named Brood War, and I'm not allowed to make Warp Gate. That is just perfect. Oh, he does have speed. Yeah, he actually was looking for my freaking units, but he didn't see them. Now, the thing in StarCraft 2 is that people rely more on spores for detection than overseers, right? And it makes sense because overlords don't detect, so you need to make a more reliable form of detection. Oh, this looks like a massive bailing on him. We're actually going to be in a little bit of trouble here. I'm going to run up. I wonder if I can bring back my Phoenixes in time. Losing the probes here is not the biggest problem. I need to make sure I don't lose these units. Okay, in the end, I think this is going to be quite all right. These adepts are going to be able to carry me, but it is a little scary. My Dark Shrine is not going to finish. I have all these Phoenixes now that were meant to kill, you know, freaking Overlords. I guess I'll just lift Zerglings instead because I might as well at this point, and then I'm going to start a couple Dark Templars. So he sees everything that I have. God, this is literally the worst set of units that I could have made for this, I think, because you know, Phoenixes don't do anything against Zerglings whatsoever. I can lift follow-up Bailings, however. That is a thing I can do, but lifting Zerglings, that just costs so much energy. I think I was already out of energy and I barely lifted any. But alright, we're alive. I got a couple of DTs on the way and here we go. I could get DT Blink. That would not be very Brood War of me, but I guess it would still be pretty cool. Let's see, does he have spores yet? He's making spores now. I'm gonna make this queen as well. Maybe I should wait for 4 DTs so I can kill the spore crawler. He's making another one, right? Yeah, this guy's terrified. You can tell. Like, he knows. He saw everything. He did make a lot of Zergling. What the hell is that queen corpse? You guys saw that? Oh my god. That blocked like my entire screen. Now, I'm not gonna die anytime soon. That is nice. But I kind of feel like I should go for an attack here. I don't think I can kill both spores. Let's see if I can find more overlords. Okay, I'm gonna find a lot of overlords here, which is great. It seems like he doesn't have multiple spores. Let's see, does he have one down here? No, he doesn't have multiple spores in the natural and the main. So that could potentially be a lifesaver for me. I'm just gonna go with these 4 DTs and try to slice down a spore real fast at the front. I've already killed the overlords, even if he has a lair. Actually, he doesn't have a lair, but even if he did, he would have a hard time getting anything out against these phoenixes. This is going to be a pretty good distraction. I wonder, because he has the links at the front, right? I'm kind of scared of that. Okay, so he's actually going to go for it again. I wonder if I can block this perfectly. Oh, I got the block with the adept. Look at that. I actually reblocked it. I need one of the DTs to finish. No, the DTs are actually not going to finish. That is brutal. I think I'm going to recall one of them. I think that is the play. I guess I'll make a Void Ray as well. So I got one DT that's coming back. His natural is pretty much dead. He's not going to be able to do anything from his natural anymore. And I recall this one DT. I wonder if he's going to let me re-wall this. That would be very nice. Let's see if I can get a gate. Oh, he's actually just going to run away. Okay, that's perfect. So the natural, he's going to try to burrow the spore, but I will kill the spore as well. Like, that's why I made sure to get so many DTs. He could have transfused that, actually. Well, I don't think it would have survived for too long, but he could have transfused it. So that would have been a really big play. But now I have these DTs. He's not paying attention, so I think I can kill the spore in the main as well. Let's go for the spore in the main. Gonna make sure to kill all of the overlords. Now, I do have this one DT that's supposed to keep me safe, so I really shouldn't move that out. I'm just gonna keep killing all of the overlords, and now we are in a position where he actually has to make overseers for detection, guys, and he's not gonna be able to get them up because I have these phoenixes. I might as well kill this queen as well because it's being a little annoying. Now, what should I make? I guess I should just make more DTs because they have been my absolute saving grace so far. Oh, I do need to run away from this, I think. That's a little scary. I think I can kill these lings as long as I kite them. Like, if I get surrounded, we're gonna be in trouble. Now, I did manage to bring a Void Ray across the map, which, honestly, I didn't really plan to bring across the map, but now it's here. That's actually kind of nice. I guess I'll just go for the lift on that queen. I'm gonna be able to take down this spore as well. We saw that he canceled the lair for now. Let's see if he's gonna try to morph down or morph an overseer somewhere, and then I should be able to snipe it. And GG is called, and we get it done with the freaking Brood War strategy. Phoenix DT. I think we played against the worst possible build, but this was absolutely awesome. Let's keep it going. And the second game is against another Zerg. All right, so another really big idea that I had, and this is kind of based off of kind of like a Protoss fantasy that I've always had, is like, I always imagined that it would be so cool if you were good enough to, let's say, juggle maybe even up to 5 warp prisms across the map, with them just carrying random spellcasters in particular, right? So I just imagine, like, you have your main army, which is, let's say it's Stalker Colossus to keep it simple, right? And then you have one warp prism with sentries here. So, like, let's say you push him back here. You have, like, the clutch force fields. And then you have a prism here with, like, High Templars inside. And maybe another one with Disruptor. So you can always make perfect use of those spells. And that's what I thought was awesome. Now, usually prisms are just used to reinforce these days. And it makes sense because you can reinforce ultra fast with a million warp gates in particular at once. Normally I'd say gateways, but here I guess I do actually have to make the distinction, right? So I cannot do that. I could, however, do the idea where I have a bunch of warp prisms flying around. And another idea that I had was that it'd be really cool to try a Doom Drop, you know, kind of like the other races have to do. Like, I'm not gonna have warp gates, so if I want to do a Doom Drop, I need like 5 warp prisms as well for that, so I think that's also a pretty cool idea. Now, in particular, that's going to work well with Zealots. Oh, this guy went for a really fast pull. What he's doing is a bit of a tricky build. I want to make sure to not fall for that. So he's playing a hatch first, but or at least I believe it was hatch first, but he still made his pull really fast, which means that he could have links in my base earlier than I would expect. If I wouldn't scout at all, and I would go straight for, you know, making an Adept without Chrono Boost, for example, then the links could arrive in my base and I could just die like that. So I might even make a Zealot here. I think we're probably fine as long as I keep my probe around so I can see when the links actually come, so I know when to use my Chrono Boost on the gateway here. Now, how do I want to do this build exactly? I think we might have to play it a little on the greedy side, kind of like the OG style of this challenge where I went for like really greedy, super fast third nexus, low gas kind of thing. And then eventually I can start making, you know, warp prisms and stuff like that. I'm only making this second gas for now. I'm oversaturated anyway, so I might as well mine from that for a little bit. I hope I didn't accidentally miss Zerglings. It looks like he took a third base instead. Not 100% sure, but it kind of looks like it. And now my nexus is going to finish, so, or well, when it finishes, I will pull out of gas with these probes and then see, you know, if we can take a third gas on time, or third base, sorry, not third base, not third gas, third base in time still. It looks a little weird what my opponent's doing. I kind of feel like he maybe took the gold base or so. There's like a half a gold base here. I kind of think he might have taken that. I'm going to try to counter him by taking my own third base as well really fast. But I am a little scared because Zerg is supposed to have a third base by now. We haven't seen any confirmation. So yeah, I need to be really careful with this, all I'm saying. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to try and go for like one of those slow Legolints, you know, with like mass drones or something like that. I'm actually going to make a sentry so I can scout a little easier. Going to check this base again. I do have to make a second gateway already. Like, keep in mind, my production is not going to come online when warp gate finishes, right? It's actually when the unit finishes, because I'm not going to be able to warp units, so do have to keep that in mind. Maybe I could go for a couple more sentries. He doesn't have this base either, huh? Okay, wait, could he have taken this base and he's going to try to make spines or something? I'm actually a little scared here. I'm not quite sure if I'm getting the read on this correctly or if he just decided to take all of his gases at once. That's also possible, by the way. He could have just taken like 4 gases at once. Now let's see what we can find. So he doesn't have these gases. He's making a spore and he's making another gas. Let's see if we can see anything in the main. Yeah, he is making a lair. Okay. Do I need to do anything about this in particular? I'm not so sure. Like, he could be going for Mutas, right? I'm also not 100% convinced that it's that threatening. I'm going to be saturating my third base already, because I'm going to send an Hallucination Scout. By the way, this is the #1 tip I can give for Pearls players. If you're not good at scouting, just make sentries. Like, you can just hallucinate phoenixes and you can scout super easily, which is nice. I can even kill this with an hallucination as well, by the way. Actually, I think I can do it on this map. I can do this, right? Does it work? No, not quite. Okay, so what do I see here? He's taking a macro hatch as well. This kind of looks like the classic extractor trick hatch first that I've seen people do. Like, they like to make macro hatches in their main base. I guess I'll go for a Twilight Council. My supply is going to be pretty high as per usual. I think I can even just chrono boost like all my freaking Nexi. Like, I don't know if I'm being too confident, but I don't feel afraid at all because we've seen that this build is just really safe. I do want to get a couple more probes and gas. So this build is really safe. So even if my opponent is going to try something crazy, I'll probably be able to counter it with just mass gateway units. And I might not even get to the point of doing doom drops here because, yeah, I don't know. If my opponent's going to all-in me, and he's going to run into like a 5 million gateway units. Not quite sure if he's going to be so happy with that. So there's no tech over there. I cannot hallucinate another one yet, but we'll get there soon. Gonna make my 4th Nexus now. Probably get... I want to get charged. Yeah, I think Blink might be a little smarter, but I'm getting charged here just because I'm still kind of stuck with the Doom Drop idea, right? So I'm going to make a Robo now. I'm just going to make a bunch of prisms from that, and if we get to use them, that'd be great. If we don't, then we save the idea for another day, which is also perfectly fine. I do not recommend taking this many bases against someone who doesn't have bases himself, by the way, because it is... Yeah, it is a little bit on the psycho side, you could say. Let's see, does he have a base? Yeah, he doesn't. I still think he might have a hidden base somewhere. Like, it just doesn't completely add up to me. Like, I know he's playing, like, a little aggressive, but it really feels like he should have a little bit more. Unless he really is saving, like, a lot of money to make, let's say... You know, 20 Swarmos at once, then I could see it. But otherwise, I'm definitely a little scared. Gonna scout him again with that. Notice how freaking good these sentry scouts are, by the way, right? Like, they're just absolutely awesome. Who's gonna attack me over here? I wouldn't be surprised if this is gonna be accompanied by, like, a Nidus or something. Oh, he's actually trying to get into the mineral line. This is not... this is very risky, I want to say. Like, look at the hold position on the probes. Guys, the probes are in hold position. He cannot escape out here. He is making a spine evolution chamber. Oh, my God. This probe hold position was huge. Oh, I barely didn't get that pylon up. That would have been the only play that could have made that even better. But that was a really good trap. We killed a lot of workers. Or a lot of links, rather. And we only lost 2 workers for it. So that's nice. I guess I will go with 2 prisms first. And then I'll try to attack on the other side at the same time. It does feel really freaking weird to do Protoss Doom Drops, by the way. Let me split my army a little bit, because I'm sure he's made more units than he is showing us. I still don't know what he's doing with his lair, by the way. Like, I don't think I still have seen anything from the lair. Like, it could be like Doom Drops. I've seen an evolution chamber. I would guess that it's Mutalisks, but I also kind of feel like they should have been here a little earlier. I think I'm finally going to go for some upgrades, by the way. I'm always so bad at making upgrades in this challenge. So here we go. Let's do a very small Doom Drop. This is already weirder than normal to attack with 2 prisms at once, because like I said, you can warp in with as many gateways as you want. You don't actually need multiple prisms for that. Once again, my supply absolutely sky high, by the way. 726, 150 supply. A little bit of that is obviously in production. It's about 12. Or well, 20 including the probes. But my supply is so freaking high with this build. It's like a little greedy, but it also feels kind of safe at the same time. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to bait this army over here just by using the Stalkers. And then I'll drop into the main. And then we'll hit again. Yeah, he is making... I don't know what he's making for, like, Ultras or something. I have no idea. Okay, so there we go. We baited all the links. Oh, I don't have Blink yet. Okay, that's a little bit of a mistake. Thank goodness my Zealots were close enough. So now, yeah, okay, it is Mutas. Finally, we see it. Okay, I was wondering about that for so long. So we hear these Zealots are going to kill so many freaking drones, by the way. He does have a lot of Mutas. Oh, thank goodness my Forge actually finished. Normally, I don't make Forges. But here, the Forge did finish. I don't think I'm going to go back with these. I'm going to use my Zealots as a distraction. And now all I need to do is just pump out as many Stalkers as I can from all of these gateways. And then I think we're going to be fine, because we did kill his base. Unless he did somehow, after me searching the entire map, still manage to hide freaking bases from me. Now, I guess I'll do another little bit of a Phoenix Scout. The Mutas are already here. Thank goodness Blink did finish by now. He's going to be able to take care of those cannons, unfortunately. Good by him to target the battery, actually. That is quite smart. But he is going to have to back off from this. Going to start a couple more cannons right as he flies away. These Zealots, he is coming back, it seems like, but I'm still going to attack with the Zealots, because I think economically we're so far ahead. We just need him to spend time on the defense, and we're going to be completely happy with that. There we go. And that's also, and now we get it, why he made so many spines, right? Like, it was just a counter against any kind of ground army. Well, he was going to get Mutalisk up and go for a base raid. So now it makes sense. It took him a really long time to get those up. I do have to say, after experimenting with those kind of builds for a while, I don't think you really want to play the Extractor Trick Hatchery first with the fast pull when you do a build like that. And it's mostly for the reason that your lair is quite delayed. Like, if you play 2-base Muta, you want to get them really fast, and he got them quite late. I guess we'll do another little bit of a drop. I only have 1 prism this time. So he does have so many freaking Mutas, by the way. Like, it's actually kind of crazy how many Mutas he has. But I mean, any Mutas that I can kill is going to be quite nice. That Blink was really nice, because I managed to block him in for a bit. Gonna go for another Blink. We're gonna kill a lot of the Mutas with these. Let's make sure to send these over here. He did kill my cannons before, but I rebuild them, which is going to be quite painful for him. he's going to lose a couple more of the mutas, and now I have the prism in the main. I guess I might as well sacrifice the prism because I can't warp in anything. Like, normally you always want to keep the prism alive, but here, I'm not even so sure because, like, you know, the forest island's always going to have. I guess I could bring it back home. I guess we'll try that while I build more and more prisms. Let me saturate this gas real quick. And now after I've killed a lot of stuff, I think I can finally go across the map. He's not threatening my base. I'll just hold position this one over here for a rainy day at some point. I do have a Guardian Shield as well, which is very good against mutas, by the way, against the glaive bounces. The spines are gonna die before he gets back. Let me make sure to actually have this Guardian Shield in range of my stalkers as much as I can. And now I can just start rallying across. He's also not targeting the sentry. I mean, not quite sure how much impact it would really have. Let's see, I'm gonna micro it back a little bit as well to not accidentally give him the target. GG is called, and there we go. We didn't really get to do the doom drops, but you guys saw the idea. We got a couple prisms in there, but I still think this build against Zerg looks so freaking good. Our supply is so high all the time. I feel safe against everything despite taking the 4th Nexus. I'm so incredibly curious for if we get Grandmaster, how well we're going to do in PvZ. But that's going to be it for today. If you had a good time, make sure to like the video. Leave your suggestions in the comments. If you know a build that I can do, why not? Maybe I'll try it. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all for the next video. Adios.